G'day and welcome to the Fair Dunkem podcast, an NBA podcast by Aussies for Aussies. My name is Jay Lewis. I'm your host. And today we have an episode, which I'm very excited about. We're back. It's been a few weeks, but I'm back here today with the one-man Naz Reid for All-Star campaigner and my good friend, Sam Fuller. Sam, how you been, mate?
All I want to say is Naz Reid has been robbed for every year of his career, and I will not stop until he does become an eventual All-Star. I might be going for a while.
No, Naz Reid, he's on track for being an All-Star very soon. No, he's not, but he's a good player. I like Naz Reid. It has been good, though. It has been a crazy few days in the NBA and in our lives. We've had episodes delayed because of nosebleeds. This episode was supposed to be filmed on Thursday night, but I decided to get a nosebleed that went on for about 45 minutes without stopping. And so because of that, we had to delay it till today. We're recording. Then half my gear decided to stop working. I decided to forget my camera, leave my camera, had to go back and pick up my camera. When I picked up the camera, then my mic stopped working. So now my mic is my sister's phone that's sitting in front of me. So if my audio is a bit shoddy in today's episode, apologies for that. But we vibe and we get through. But it has also been a crazy couple of days in the NBA. There's been a lot of things that have happened. We've had trades. We've had injuries. We've had all-star announcements. We've had an undermanned Lakers team beat the top of the table, like 20-2 at home, Boston Celtics. And I am so ready to discuss that. There's a lot of good things that have happened in the NBA the last few days, though. I feel like we just need to start on that Lakers game. That was a sight to behold.
And just to get it off your chest, go for it.
I honestly, looked at like the schedule for the day and I saw we're playing the Celtics. I'm like, this is not going to go well. And then I saw the tweet that LeBron and Davis were both out injured. And I was like, I'm not even going to bother watching. It's just going to hurt my soul too much. It's going to be triggering. It's not worth the pain it's going to put me through. So I was sitting at my desk. I was doing a bit of work. And then I had to look over and I had it on my second monitor. I'm like, oh, the Lakers are up by up 14-13. Like, I'll just have a watch. And I did not look away for the rest of the game. It was the greatest Lakers game I've seen honestly, since the 2020 team that won the title. That's the best game I've watched us play. In terms of, we just beat a good Celtics team, underdogged. There was a tenacity, there was a fight in us that I have not seen ever since we decided to trade for Russell Westbrook. And it was it was fun to watch. And all that for LeBron to trade half of those guys in a week and a half.
Yeah, speaking on that, trade deadline D-Lo has been going crazy.
Trade deadline D-Lo is a real thing now. Once he knows he's going to be traded, he just becomes a different animal. It's like, I don't care anymore. I can just play my own game and I can shoot 50%. Why can't you shoot 50% from three when you're playing in meaningful minutes and you still got to fight? It is very frustrating as a Lakers fan to watch D'Angelo Russell. Russell Westbrook was more frustrating, but he's one of the most frustrating players I remember. His name's actually going to be coming up later because we've got a few fun segments today. But first off, let's just go over the news of the last couple of days. A few things have happened outside of the Lakers announcing that they actually are the best team in the, Celtics were, that's the way it goes. Celtics were favourites to win the title. Lakers beat the Celtics, therefore Lakers are favourite to win the title. Is that correct?
I've been saying that all season with Minnesota.
Wait, does that mean Orlando? No, because Minnesota beat Boston, didn't they? No, we beat Boston and we've lost to them twice, I think. Or once. And you lost to Orlando today. Does that mean Orlando are now the favourites because Orlando beat Minnesota and Minnesota beat Boston?
Yes.
Is that how that works?
Yes.
That's and exactly I think the Pistons beat Orlando. So does that mean the Pistons are the favourites?
Yes.
Pistons are goated. You heard it here first. But there has been some fun news. Well, not fun. Fun for you. You'll like this news. Not everyone. Joel Embiid is out with a meniscus injury. He's injured his left knee.
Apparently, it's not torn, though. It's just injured.
Yes. So I've heard it's not a tear. It's injured. There's no timeline yet. They said they'll take till next week to get a timeline for a return. So that says to me it could be a few weeks. So if you're waiting a week to get your timeline for a return, that probably means you're expecting a few weeks. But how were the celebrations at the Sam household? Was it just a light gathering, a little luncheon?
I've been up drinking since I found out. This is the most sober. No, I'm just kidding. No, obviously you don't wish any sort of injury amongst a player, but when it's Joel Embiid and of his number one biggest hater, I can't say I wasn't happy.
Fair. And Tyrese Maxey decides to go and drop
Yeah,
51, sorry.
I think.
Yeah, 51
like
yesterday in his absence. So they're doing fine, Philly.
Yeah.
It was interesting, though. Like, it did make me think, because obviously today's episode, I haven't got to go into it yet, but it's All-Star have been announced. The starters and the reserves have been announced since the last episode. Also, trade deadline is in a week. So we're going to be doing some mock trades today and also doing a bit of fun All-Star draft, favorite All-Stars, or most random All-Stars of all time. We'll get into that a bit later. But we were doing mock trades, and I was thinking through some mock trades today, and I couldn't help but wonder, how much does this impact Philly's trade deadline? If they don't know when Embiid's back, does that stop them from making a big trade? If they've got something on the table, do you still go for it? Do you trust Embiid to get back fully healthy? Do you sit put? Do you try and bring in a backup center and keep contending? How would this impact Philly at all, do you reckon?
I think they should might as well just trade Joel Embiid. He's clearly not good enough, and he's
Joel Embiid for Karl Anthony Towns or something along those lines, maybe?
No, he's not quite worth the All-Stars, Cat. I would say maybe Shake Milton in a second.
You'll throw in a second, though.
I'll be nice.
I mean, Steven Adams went for 2 seconds and he's out for the year. So Joel Embiid, maybe 3 seconds because he's out. He's probably not out for the full year. So maybe you need to throw in an extra second.
Exactly.
Beth Oladipo in 3 seconds should get it done for Joel Embiid at this point.
Oh, God.
No, I am interested to see if it does affect them at all. Like, you never really know because you don't know what they would have done if he didn't get injured. But is there a trade you don't pull the trigger on anymore? Or do you become more aggressive to try and stay put while waiting for him to get back? It will be interesting to see what they do. But as I said, also, I mentioned it just then, Steven Adams also got traded yesterday to Houston in one of the more odd, I wouldn't say disappointing trades.
It's a bit tame.
Bit of a tame. It was a bit of a dull trade, if we're being honest, because the headline player can't play for the rest of the year, which isn't exactly what I'm looking for in my trade deadline trades. But
no, exactly.
I was more looking for...
How's Oladipo been? I've not checked up on
I don't even know if he's still playing. I don't what he's doing in Houston. I'm going to look up his stats right now. My keyboard's over to my side today, so...
Because he's been thrown around now the past few years, which is sad, because his downfall needs to be studied, from being an all-star in 2018 on the Pacers to injury to... Yeah.
I'm writing him down for my all-star draft. I'd forgotten about Victor Oladipo making an all-star team. That's absolutely coming back at some point
to
today.
Be fair, within context, I think they all have their context in that.
That's true. They were all good in their day. He's just so random to think Victor Oladipo... He's like a 2-time all-star as well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then he got injured. He won a dunk contest. Most improved player of 2017-18. Like, he was a good player in Indiana. This year, I don't think he's even played this year. I think he's out injured at the moment. Left PCL injury, I think. So he's out for the year, I think.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's two guys with dud knees have been traded, and one team threw in a few second-round picks. I do think it's actually a fun trade for Houston, though. Like, next year, getting Steven Adams as a backup center is a good backup center to have when he's healthy, if he gets healthy. And there's
it's not like he's a bad player.
No, and there's no pressure on him there. He can just do his thing. I think he was never exactly mobile, so I don't think it will affect his ability to. It's not like Derrick Rose when he went down with a knee. Like, I don't think his game was based off explosiveness. Steven Adams, he can still set screens.
Exactly.
That's all he's out there to do. Also, yesterday, it was like a weird 2 hours. Like, all the news in the NBA dropped. There was the Embiid injury, and then also the All-Star reserves got announced yesterday, which are very fun. So in those couple surprises, mainly for you boys, you got 2 Timberwolves in there. You had Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns both make the All-Star team. Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox didn't, and Lauri Markkanen and Domantas Sabonis didn't make it for Sacramento.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on Karl Anthony Towns making it over Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox and Wemby?
Obviously, I'm happy for my man, and I'm not obviously it's biased. Like, I'm not going to say, a cat should be an all-star, and I think he did deserve it, but not quite to the extent as Sabonis, who's averaging. I compared their stats yesterday. Sabonis is only averaging less points, but every other major statistical category he's averaging more in.
Yeah, okay.
And I know, where are they sitting in the West right now? Like 5th or something?
Around that margin. Sacramento?
Yeah.
I think they're in that 4 to 7 range. That it's swapping every day basically.
I understand Cat has high points per game and higher standing, but
so Minnesota's tied first with OKC. Sacktown's currently 5th, but they're in that 5 to 8 range, which is 2.5 games between them all. But they're at the top of it at the moment. But
I think if the Kings were the first seed, it'd be interchangeable between him and Cat.
Yeah, totally. I think I do always like rewarding teams to do well, and Minnesota's done well. But I also I thought one of Fox or him deserved a spot on the All-Star team.
Yeah, I think Fox definitely deserved it.
I think
Sacramento at least deserved one All-Star.
That's
so it was
true. That's it.
One.
The fact that the Lakers got 2, and it's tough because it's LeBron and Davis have both been amazing this year, but it was an interesting question though. I'm just going through to find the exact list of All-Stars quickly. So, so in the West, it was Steph Curry. So the starters were Luka and Shea. Also, I was happy to see that. I was happy to see Shea and Luka both get their credit.
Yeah,
I thought Steph was just going to get in because he's Steph. I was happy to see that they actually still got voted in as starters. And then LeBron, KD, and Jokic made the other 3. LeBron did not deserve it over Kawhi or Anthony Davis, but LeBron's LeBron and he's never not going to be a starter in an All-Star game. The reserves were Steph Curry and Devin Booker, Kawhi Leonard, Davis, and Towns, I believe, were the pick, and then the other 2 were Edwards and PG. So that's probably, I guess Paul George could be a forward. So that might be why Towns gets in over Fox, is just because of positional need.
Center based.
Unless, because they could have slid Davis to be the center, Paul George could be listed as a forward. You could or Edwards could be listed as a forward. But I think there's a lot of guards coming off that list. Ant deserves it. Ant definitely needs to make it, in my opinion. Yeah. He's best player on the best team in the West. I think Booker needs to make it. He scored, he's been on a tear recently.
Yeah.
Do you think Cat gets it if he over Sabonis if he doesn't have that 60-point game a week ago? How much do you think that impacts it?
I reckon.
You reckon?
Because we lost that game.
That's true. Chris Finch made that very clear that it was
No, exactly. He wasn't particularly a fan favourite of people after that.
Yeah,
game.
that's
if
true.
If we'd won, it would have been a completely different story. But
that's true.
They're different endings. Probably. But I don't think it's too drastic. And a lot of people, I've been reading a lot of comments, a lot of people thought, Minnesota fans thought Rudy should have been in over Cat, perhaps.
I was almost on that.
Which is interesting.
Because I think... What are your thoughts on that as a Minnesota fan?
Well, most people saying, and myself included, I think, Rudy's not really an all-star type of player. He's not flashy. He's not going to give you 20 and 20 and 9 or something. But he's averaging the 2nd most rebounds in the league, 6th most blocks, and he's the best defensive player on the best defensive team in the NBA.
That's the thing is, he's not an all-star player, but, he clearly has a bigger impact than Cat does on the team at the moment.
No, exactly. Yeah, but in terms of popularity, Cat's
he's not going to. It's all sorts of popularity contest. That's
exactly.
I do think if I was voting and I was just basing on who I think are the best players, I think I would put Rudy over Cat. I think just on who's been best this year. But as you said, it's a popularity contest. I thought Fox was really stiff. That was the one for me. Yeah. Sabonis has been good, but I think Fox is averaging 28 a game, 28 and 7. He deserved to get it. I reckon over maybe Paul George could have been one that dropped out for Fox potentially. Yeah. Clippers have been really good, but whether they deserve 2 All-Stars, I would have given one to Sacramento and given Fox.
But you never know. That's the thing with injuries.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll get to that with Embiid potentially missing the All-Star game. I think the next person to come in would be Fox.
Yeah.
I think he's the next injury replacement, also bonus. And then probably Lauri, Markkanen that 3rd.
Maybe Wemby as well, just because people want to see Wemby in an All-Star game. Out of those, at the moment, Shea, Luka, LeBron, KD, Jokic, they're all healthy, but Davis, he's been injured at the moment. Kawhi's been injured the last couple of weeks. Devin Booker's been injured a few times this year. So you could easily see Fox get in. In the Eastern Conference, you had the starters were Dame, which is, I don't know. I'm happy for Dame to finally get be a starter on an all-star team. He's been an amazing player for 10 years. This is not the year he deserved that, though. It was many years ago.
And all the years, yeah.
How he got that over Jalen Brunson or Tyrese Maxey or Donovan Mitchell is beyond me. But him and Hallie started in the backcourt, and then Giannis, Embiid, Tatum obviously in the front court. For the reserves, so you had Jalen Brunson, Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Maxey as your guards, and then Paolo Banchero, Bam Adebayo, Julius Randle as your forwards. The big one a lot of people are talking about is that Trae Young didn't make it as an all-star this year. Again.
Where's the Hawks sitting, though?
They've been bad. Like, they're the 10 seed, but like
exactly.
They're also 21 and 27. They're 6 games under 500. They're behind the Bulls. So like they're not, and they're looking to trade Murray because they're looking to rebuild. Like, they've been bad. Trae's been great.
We should look at who's, out of all the All-Stars, who's got the lowest record.
I believe the only players with a worse record than them this year, actually, no, I take that back. No one with a worse record made an All-Star team. So
okay, I think that's
Golden State is one spot below them, but in the West they've still got a better record. They're just the West is more competitive. Golden State's the 12 seed. Atlanta's the 10 seed, but Golden State have the better record, and Steph Curry made it. But that's also Steph Curry. The closest record to theirs that had also had an All-Star was Paolo Banchero on the Magic, but they're 4.5 games better than Atlanta. The Lakers had 2, but that's LeBron and Davis again, so a bit like Steph Curry. Yeah, he would have been on the worst team that was in the All-Star team.
I think if he was on 7th seed and above or 6th seed and above, he definitely would have been an All-Star.
I think he makes over Paolo then.
The position-wise.
Oh, that's true.
I would...
Maybe have a Jaylen Brown.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown would be the one.
I forgot Brown was an All-Star.
Brown would be the one to go.
Brown should not be an All-Star. That's another thing I'm adamant about.
I thought Porzingis deserved it more than Brown, even if they wanted to put a second Boston player in. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Porzingis has been really good on defense, but Brown did not deserve it this year.
No.
I'm sad for Trae Young. Like, I am a Trae Young hater. Like, I'll be honest. I don't like him. But he's a good player and he's done well this year. He's been more efficient. I think he's being a bit better of a teammate to play with, but he it's just one where it's like, it's not just the fact that he's on a bad team. It's like, because Steph's on a bad team, but because Steph contributes to winning well.
Yeah.
Trae Young, there's always a question where it's like, can he ever actually contribute to a championship team because of his play style, or will he always be a good player on a mediocre team because no one around him can ever be at their best with him? So I think there are questions that I want to see answered before I give Trae Young the nod over some players, but I think he should have got in over Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
The East was weak enough, so he should have made it. Julius Randle also making it. Happy for the Knicks to get 2, but I thought him getting in over like Scotty Barnes or Porzingis or someone was a bit
interesting. To be fair, I got to give it to the Knicks. They've won 7 straight now.
And they're looking really fun.
They're sitting at like 3rd in the East or something last time I heard.
They're looking very
3rd.
fun.
So they're above the Cavs right now.
Man, they're above Philly as well.
I still have no faith in them.
Oh, no. Jalen Brunson's like, he is actually turning into like just a genuine star, not just like all fun story. It's like, okay, now he's been doing it for a year and a half and like people can't stop him. He's actually just this good. This is just who he is. So I'm happy for Brunson. He deserved to be a starter over Damian Lillard. Like, he's led that Knicks team to a 3 seed well and truly.
Exactly. Yeah, I think Julius then should have been a reserve, and then even Scotty could have made it. But to be fair, the Raptors are sitting at 12th.
That's true. I think, if Trae Young doesn't make it, Scotty Barnes probably can't make it then because of...
No, exactly. That kind of counters that argument.
I think Jaylen Brown needs to go out, and then either, if you want to give it to just the best player, you give it to Trae Young. If you want to give it to someone who contributed to winning, you give it to KP. That would have been my go-to there in the East. I don't think there's anyone else in the East I thought really deserved... Like
maybe Jimmy Butler?
Butler would be the only one, but I think he's just missed too many games. And Miami, he's been okay, but nothing. I was happy Bam got it. I think he deserved it this year. He's been good. But, I think the only other one would have been... if you want to give it to someone on the winning team, I think I would have given it to Porzingis over Brown, personally.
Yeah.
I just think he's been more impactful for that team.
Absolutely.
Sort of like Rudy Gobert versus Cat. It's a very similar situation.
I'm also just happy to see that LaMelo Ball is in an All-Star.
Yes. He also does not deserve. I forgot he made an All-Star team, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, technically, it's a replacement. Over Ant, yeah. I was trying to figure out why you hate LaMelo so much. Of course, he stole the Rookie of the Year, didn't he, LaMelo?
Most rigged, undeserved thing ever.
Yeah, you've moved on from that. It's good to see.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That's no sleep over.
How many do? So, it is, we mentioned a bit earlier, trade deadline is coming up in just a couple of weeks. I think actually less than a week.
It's just under a week now.
I think it's next Friday is technically.
It's the 7th, I believe.
Is it the 7th? Okay, so
it's like
actually,
4 days.
It falls on my 21st, which is pretty fun. So I'm literally planning on spending my 21st just reading all the news about what happens in the NBA. Like, and I'll be absolutely content doing that. But it is in a few days, and we're an NBA podcast. I love the trade deadline. It's like my favorite day of the NBA calendar, almost. That or free agency day are my two favorite days. To seeing all the tweets, it's so much fun.
It's like a reality show, really.
It's like, it literally is a reality show. And I've played enough 2K that that's just what I do at this point. Yeah. So we decided for today's episode to do a couple mock trades. So we're just going to throw out some trades that we'd like to see, or we've heard rumored that we think would be good for different teams. We'll present them to each other. The other person can we say which team we would be presenting it as. The other team can sort of counter. Maybe we can, if Sam throws me a trade and one of the teams it's Lakers in Minnesota, I'll just become the Lakers. I can sort of negotiate my way through, have a few negotiations, and just see what sort of trades we had in mind. Sam, did you want to go first, or do you want to go second?
I'll let you go first.
Go first? Okay. Let's have a look here. We've had a few. Okay, we were talking a bit about this team just before, about how good they are. And this is a trade for the Knicks for me. So I am proposing this trade. Julius Randle is out injured for the next few weeks. They said it's not as severe as they thought, but it's going to be at least till the end of Feb, and then they'll reevaluate, and maybe a couple of weeks longer than that. Jaylen Brown has been on a tear, but he needs a bit of help. I propose the Knicks send Evan Fournier, because he's still got 1 year left on his deal, bunch of money, he's not playing, with their first-round pick next year, to the Washington Wizards for Kyle Kuzma. You get Kuzma can step in Randall's place until he returns. Once Randall comes back, you've got an amazing sixth man. You can run a closing lineup of Brunson, Anunoby, Kuzma, Randall, Mitch Robb. What are your thoughts on that?
What are the Wizards getting back for that, though?
So they're getting Evan Fournier's expired contract, so it's 2 years less than Kuzma's contract and $6 million cheaper, and they get a first-round pick for Kuzma. I
don't think they're accepting that. I know the first-round pick sounds good.
Okay.
But what's that worth if the Knicks are third in the East?
Well, one of the things is the Knicks have a lot of picks from other teams still in there. I'm getting it up on my phone because I was having a look earlier. The Knicks still have a few of other teams' picks. So they could throw in one of their own picks and then one pick from, I think they have a Dallas pick. I think they have a couple Portland picks potentially from, they've got a few picks going around. I'm getting it up on my phone now. Thank you to our Fansbo for not sponsoring, but sponsoring today's episode by giving me the ability to do all these fake trades. So if you're the Knicks, they have some different picks they have. They have their own first-round pick. They have this year, they have Washington and Detroit's, but they're both protected. They have Dallas's pick this year, but it's protected. So you could throw a Dallas pick this year, which is probably going to be about pick 18 or 20, and the Knicks pick next year, which is probably going to be 20 to 25. So you get two mid to late first-round picks for Kyle Kuzma, and you get off his contract 2 years earlier if you're Washington. If I'm the Knicks, I'd be comfortable because I think he would be a great replacement for Randall, and he's a bit of a plug-and-play. You can put him in.
Yeah.
You can.
I think it's a very one-sided trade. I think the Knicks are taking it, but the Wizards aren't.
Okay. So if you wouldn't take 2 first-round picks for Kyle Kuzma, you don't reckon?
And I'll just...
The other one you could do if you're the Knicks, would you prefer it if it was like Dallas's pick this year and then we throw you like they've got a Milwaukee pick in a few years' time once like Dame's contract's over. So you could throw like, or take a Knicks pick in like 2029 and bank on the fact that they're poorly run enough that they'll be bad again in a few years' time. So like punt on like we take a pick this year, which is going to be pick like 18 probably for Dallas, somewhere around that range, and then we're going to take a Knicks pick in 2028 or 2029 and just hope they're bad. One of those two, by then again.
Ooh.
I would take that risk because you got that in your back pocket then going forward.
And the Wizards don't really have a good sense of direction, do they?
No, you're getting a couple picks because they didn't get any picks in the Beal or KP trade.
No,
really. So they've only got their own picks. So it gives you an extra first round pick this year and a pick in the future if you want it as well, whenever you want that.
So you say as the Wizards, they kind of just blow it up again?
I just think they're 9-40, or something like that at the moment. Like they're not doing anything this year. I think. Trade Kuzma while he's...
Kuzma and Poole aren't there, guys.
And Kuzma's actually got value, though, because he's played well this year. Yeah. And I'm not sure I'd trust Kuzma to play well another year. And he's the sort of player that could easily lose his value by having a season where he shoots like 28% from three. And I think while the value's high on him, I would jump on that trade if I was the Wizards. Get yourself some young players, give more minutes to young guys like Bilal Coulibaly, their first round pick. He can slot in, play more minutes. Yeah. Kispert, Avdia. I think if I'm the Knicks, I do the deal. I think it's a good deal for the Knicks. If I'm Washington, I think I have to think about trading Kuzma at the moment.
Yeah. They might as well. They can't really go any further downhill, can they?
I was having another look as well on the Knicks. I can't see any players to really trade. Like, it would be like Precious Achiuwa is a young player. I don't think they're giving up Quentin Grimes after they've given up quickly. They're going to keep one of those guys. They don't really have any other good young players. Miles McBride, but I think it'd have to be Fournier. Picks are the only thing the Knicks can really throw at this moment. But they've also got, if not Kuzma, all I say is I think the Knicks have got an $18 million Fournier contract that's basically just sitting on your bench. I think you have to use that. You've got yourself a 3 seed. This is the best chance you've had to compete in years. The Bucks, for as good as they are, there's some concerns. They just fired their head coach like a week ago. Mm-hmm. No one knows what Embiid's health is. This is probably the Knicks' best chance to just sort of go all in. And you got an $18 million sitting there with a bunch of picks. You have to turn Fournier into something this offseason, this trade deadline, I think.
Actually, I'm on Fanspo right now. For the trending players being traded, Evan Fournier is number 3.
I noticed that just before.
Behind LeBron and DeJounte Murray.
LeBron?
Have you not heard this news?
Well, I've heard there's the rumors that they're going to trade LeBron. I think if LeBron trade would absolutely happen in the offseason. If it did, they're going to wait out the playoffs and then
that's crazy.
Go from there. I'm actually not that opposed to it, if I'm being honest as well. I know yes. Do you want to go there for a minute?
Let's go there.
I love watching the Lakers compete. They're a good team, but I think we are so far away from contending that I don't think there's a trade we can make this trade deadline that gets us enough back. Mm-hmm. And I think if we can't, we have to capitalize. Like LeBron and Davis are our only 2 good assets left. And if we can't get something for them now, we have to at least consider a LeBron trade in the offseason.
Yeah. So whilst their stock is so high.
While their stock is high, might as well reset. I think I think that's the only real.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to try a LeBron to Minnesota trade.
Okay, see if you can make one work.
You talk for a few minutes.
Okay, let's talk about the Lakers quickly because there are a few trades. I didn't do any Lakers trades in my trade predictions here. One I do like. It's just a bit of a boring trade, but because it's obviously there's the DeJounte Murray trades at the moment for the Lakers, which I like the idea of DeJounte Murray, and because we get him under contract for a few years, so it's not like it's a rental, but I just don't think it moves the needle enough for me to move any picks or Austin Reeves for. I think I'm just thinking for DeJounte Murray, it is a good trade, DeJounte Murray. I think he'd be a good fit. I just don't think it takes us to contend. The one I actually like for the Lakers, and it's actually, I thought of this trade like 3 weeks ago, and now it's finally making its way onto like Twitter and Instagram, is D'Angelo Russell to Brooklyn for Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith, I think. It's D'Angelo Russell and Rui Hachimura to Brooklyn for Finney-Smith, O'Neal, and Dinwiddie. And it's like, you actually get a genuine backup point guard who can actually run the second unit in Dinwiddie. That's like his team, his second unit, a genuine ball handler who's going to play defense. Is just going to be I think the issue with the Lakers is that we have too many guys that are like variables. And it's like, it's fine to have, you need guys that like have high ceilings because they can win you games that you're not going to win otherwise. But all our guys like Russell, Hachimura, Vanderbilt, Austin Reeves, all of those guys, they're really like, they're varied in how good they can have amazing games, they can have really bad games. And we just don't have enough like consistent, just level players. And we don't have enough two-way players. Like that's the issue with our lineup is like LeBron and Davis play, and then we spend the rest of the lineup trying to figure out, okay, if we put Russell and Reeves in, we need to have Vanderbilt for defense. If we have Vanderbilt for defense, we need to have this offense. And we're constantly going back and forth trying to like balance the offense and defense because we just don't really have any two-way players outside of Taurean Prince, who's been okay, but like he's playing 34 minutes a night, and Taurean Prince can't be playing 34 minutes a night on a title contending team. So we need some like just good, solid two-way players and guys that are consistent. So then you can have guys like Reeves, if he has an off night, you can cover for it because you've got these guys that you know will be a good base. And when Reeves is doing well, or when Hachimura is doing well, or when Vanderbilt's hitting his shots, they can come in and be difference makers. But they need to be difference makers around some more base players. And I think Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, O'Neal, those three guys would be that for the Lakers. Dinwiddie's not the best three-point shooter of all time, but he'll play defense. He'll be a smart player, similar to what Mike Conley has done for Minnesota. He's just going to be a smart player around the Lakers. Have I monologued for long enough yet, Sam? Have you come up with a trade for LeBron?
Failed.
You failed?
Keep monologuing.
Keep monologuing? I'll keep going. So I do think that should happen. I also like the idea. I think we need to trade Gabe Vincent. I loved the Gabe Vincent signing in the offseason. He's just injured, and there's no timeline for his return yet that I've seen. Like maybe mid-March or something like that is what I'm hearing. But I think we need to capitalize. That's $8 million you can't let go. If nothing else, even if we do intend to trade LeBron, I think we should try a Gabe Vincent and a couple second-round picks for Alex Caruso trade. Like, the contracts match up perfectly, and Alex Caruso, the Lakers desperately need a point-of-attack defender who can play offense because Vanderbilt and Reddish are so bad on the offensive end. We need a defender who can actually play on that end of the floor, and I think Caruso can be an offensive player. He's had a great season. If we could snatch Caruso, I think you absolutely have to. Gabe Vincent, the contracts match up well enough that I would give it a go. Outside of that, I don't mind the DeJounte Murray trade. I prefer the idea of like, I know, again, DeJounte Murray, he has been really good, but like, I just want some guys that can be like that backup point guard. Maybe if Murray comes in, you probably move Reeves back to the sixth man. I've seen a few Tyus Jones, Daniel Gafford trades. That would be a good, get us a backup center and a backup point guard we can actually trust. I like those trades. I heard there's like rumors that the Lakers are trying to pull the deal on like a bigger deal, like a Donovan Mitchell or Lauri Markkanen. We're just not going to have the picks to ever contend. If like Donovan Mitchell was on the trade block, trade whatever you can to get him, but there's no way a team's picking Reeves and 2 first-round picks from the Lakers over what the Knicks or what, the Thunder or someone like that could throw out that trade. So I think we're not going to be able to make a really big deal. I think DeJounte Murray is going to be the best deal we could make, and I just don't think it moves the needle enough to move 2 first-round picks and Russell for the Lakers going forward. You got a trade yet, Sam?
I do.
Okay, send it my way.
This is outrageous. Okay.
Go.
This is Minnesota offer Karl Anthony Towns, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Troy Brown Jr. to the Lakers for LeBron and Christian Wood.
Picks?
No picks included. It is a success.
It is a success. Okay. If I'm the Lakers, I need some sort of picks back, I think. I think I need to see like a first-round pick.
Do you want to see what picks I can offer?
Yeah, any picks you can offer, I would consider that because Karl Anthony Towns, as bad as he's been, pairing him up with AD, it's very similar to that Gobert pairing. But I think Davis is a bit more versatile on defense. Gobert's a better rim protector. Davis is a bit more versatile. He can be a bit better around the court than Gobert. So I think my thought would be, okay, what else could the Lakers get? And I think I would be quick to talk to like Miami about, Jaime Harkers, Tyler Hero, and a couple picks from Miami. Can we get that done? And if we can, I think Jaime Harkers has a more upside than anything I'm getting in Minnesota. But if I can get some picks from Minnesota, I'll be willing to take that. Or Jaden McDaniels. If we could get Jaden McDaniels in the deal, I would be willing to talk, potentially. Not yet, in the offseason as well. I want to make that clear. If it's a bad end of the year, we miss out on the playoffs, get swept in the first round, something like that, I'd be willing to talk if there's a McDaniels in the deal or a couple picks.
Okay, let me try and do... What if I do Cat, McDaniels?
Because we could throw in like Vincent or something like that for contract, or we could throw in like... I'd be willing to throw in like Hachimura or Vincent to make the contracts work if we're getting back McDaniels and Towns.
Yeah, that was a failed trade.
I do think there's a world where the Lakers trade LeBron in the offseason. I don't think it happens. I don't think it happens at the deadline, though. But I think the most likely one would be we just send it to Miami, let him go play with Butler and Bam, get Hero and Harkers and players like that back.
Yeah.
Okay.
If not, maybe back to Cleveland.
Or back to Cleveland. I would be happy with that as well. Get Mobley. No, there's no way we're getting Mobley. Who would we even get? Because I don't know.
What if you do a 3-team trade? So you get D. Mitch out of Cleveland, LeBron goes there.
Yeah, whoever gets D. Mitch, we get their picks. That could be. We could like LeBron to Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell to the Thunder, and then like Thunder picks to the Lakers or something like that. That could be a fun deal.
Giddy or something.
Yeah, like Giddy and some picks.
And like Jay Will.
Yeah, something like that. That could work. Yeah. Do you have another fake trade for me?
I don't.
I've got a couple more.
Yeah.
I've got a couple more for you if you want.
Let me hear
This is a fun one. Actually, we'll go. This is a bit of a boring one, but we just mentioned them before. So this is the Thunder trading Davis Bertans, who's making $18 million a year, and it's just dead cap again. Evan Fournier, dead cap, with Utah's first-round pick this year, which is top 10 protected, so probably about 10 to 15, somewhere in that range, and 2 second-round picks to the Detroit Pistons for Bojan Bogdanovic. So the Pistons, they get a first-round pick and for Bojan, go full rebuild mode, and the Thunder, they get like a shooter and a veteran to put in that team so you can run like a closing lineup of Shea, Dort, Bogdanovic, Williams, homegrown in the playoffs, or Dort, Giddy, interchangeable. Yeah. Who would say no on that deal, do you reckon?
I don't think anyone would. Have you tried that in Fanspo?
Yep. The contracts work, so there's a success there. Like, they're basically making the exact same money. So, like, for the Pistons, you get a first-round pick and a couple seconds for, like, a 34-year-old Bojan Bogdanovic, which I think if you're the Pistons, you do that. If you can get a first-round pick for Bojan, you take that. And if you're the Thunder, you have picks for days, picks falling out of your pocket. So you might as well throw one around. It's not an all-in trade for the Thunder, so it's not like they're, like, wasting a good year. But it's like, I think getting a good vet that you could trust in the playoffs would be a great idea to put next to Shea and homegrown and Jay Will and stuff, or J-Dub. Yeah. I feel like that could be just a good... I feel like he'd be good on the Thunder. Just get them some spacing that they can trust. Getting a vet on the playoff team.
A vet's always good.
And you're not breaking the bank for it. You're not trading 4 of your first-round picks for this or 5.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think this is the year to try and do a big trade for Donovan Mitchell or something. Like, just let this team play out, get a playoff series under them. But I think it'd be good for them. Last one. This is a fun one. The Sacramento Kings send Harrison Barnes, 2 unprotected picks, first-round picks, and a protected first rounder in 2028. So like 2 future firsts and a third one that's protected to the Utah Jazz for Lauri Markkanen.
I was actually just about to come up with a Lauri trade. Ooh.
So that one, the money works. Barnes and Markkanen are making basically the same amount. But Markkanen is just on 1 year less. So the Jazz, you get 3 first-round picks for a Lauri Markkanen who's out of contract at the end of next year. So you don't know whether I even want to bring him back because he's going to be asking for a heap of money. Do Utah want to pay that yet for Lauri Markkanen?
Mm-hmm.
You get 3 first-round picks. And if you're the Kings, you actually get a team that, like, Darren
Lauri
Fox.
on the Kings could be deadly.
Like, Fox, Herder, Markkanen, Murray, Sabonis. That team can genuinely compete in the playoffs.
Yeah. Damn.
I think Utah says no before Sacramento says no to that.
Yeah. I think if you made this deal next year, when Lauri's expiring contract,
or
you
off
might get a
season,
different result. Yeah.
Like if they know they don't want to bring Lauri back next year, it could be once you know what those picks are, you can maybe trade. I think Lauri would be a good pick for the Sacramento Kings though. It'd be a good fit. He'd be fantastic.
Be a good fit anywhere. I love
How much fun would that be? Fox, Markkanen, and Sabonis as your big 3. Like that's a really good big 3.
Fox and Lauri were the same draft, 2017, and Sabonis was only a few years ahead. So they're all decently the same age.
Yeah, you can build around that team for the next 4 or 5 years, and they're good players, and they complement each other as well. Like Markkanen's not going to take the ball out of their hands; he's a good shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Sabonis is a good play, and Fox are both good playmakers, so it makes up for never swinging the rock, Lauri Markkanen. But like I think it would actually be. I would be very interested, and if I'm Utah, like the other one is maybe you could throw in Davion Mitchell or something into that deal if the Jazz want. Like I think if I could get Markkanen on the Kings, I would do it. If I'm the Kings, I don't care if it's 3 first-round picks. I think it'd be worth it for me.
Yeah, you've inspired me.
I think that's a fun trade. I feel like that's fairly well balanced as well. I'd be interested to see what other people think. All right, we are going to do. Do you have any more fake trades? I should say
I might bring one next week.
Might bring one next week. I like that. I had one which was Royce O'Neal to the Cavs for Isaac Okoro in a couple seconds. So it's just like a good. I think he'd be good on the Cavs. Like he'd be a perfect 5th starter for them in that like Garland, Mitchell, O'Neal, Mobley, Allen. I think he's a good 3-and-D wing. I think he'd be good for that. But it's so boring. That's all the trades I have. We are going to do a game in just 1 second. Welcome back. We had a little cut there because my camera decided to die on me halfway through. We've had a lot of tech issues today. Mic's dying, camera's dying, cables being left, cameras being left, cables not fitting, cables being the wrong cables. A lot of things have happened. We finally got the episode recorded and then my camera decided to die. But we're just going through some final trades. Sam, in that break though, has come up with one final Utah trade. Sam, why don't you tell us what it is?
I don't know how this is a success. Utah trade Lauri Markkanen to the Timberwolves for Kyle Anderson and Shake Milton. Do Utah say yes to that? Absolutely not.
If you throw in some picks, though.
That's what I was thinking. If I threw in like a unprotected first rounder.
And here's one. Would you trade Jaden McDaniels for Lauri Markkanen?
That's another thing. I'm going to try that right now. I don't think money-wise it will work.
If you trade, I think you get close because Markkanen's not on much money yet. He's only on like 18 mil, which is why he's pretty tradable. Like, you can make it work pretty easily.
Let me try that now.
I think that I was trying to do a Philly trade for a long time because they have a lot of good contracts. You could trade Marcus Morris's $17 million. Tobias Harris has a $40 million contract you could trade. But I just couldn't find anything I really loved thus far. No Zach LaVine trade as well that I came up with that worked. But there was one. There was one trade that I was like, oh, that was one. Okay, this is a bit more crazy. Klay Thompson for Tobias Harris.
Ooh.
So Philly get like a genuine shooter who can be like a real shooting guard, be the 2 next to Maxey, you know? Both are expiring contracts. Maybe throw in pick. if Golden State are willing to break it up, I think the $40 million Clay deal is going to be tough to get off. I think that'd be the one spot. Would you do that if you're Philly, though? Like, do you trust Clay to be better than Tobias Harris? Or like, but also getting some good playoff experience, how much worth would that have?
Exactly. They're both kind of at the same points in their career.
Yeah.
They're not exactly young.
Yeah. Another one I did think about was Draymond Green to Philly. And you could do that pretty easy with like Marcus Morris and like one other player. Like you could do Draymond to Philly for a couple picks. Like if you did Marcus Morris and Daniel House, you could get that done money-wise. And then I'll just confirm it quickly, but I'm 95% sure that works money-wise. And then if you throw in 2 first-round picks to the Warriors, 2024 and 2028 or something like that for Draymond. Because that also figures out your backup center minutes when Embiid's not on the floor. My only thought is, I think they are happy going like 5 out. Do they really want to bring in Draymond, who's not going to be a 5 out center in any sense, 5 out player for them? They want to keep the floor space for Embiid, but it'd be an interesting trade to get Draymond to Philly. I'd be interested to see what that looked like. Get them a really good defender. It'd just be, I think they want a floor space next to Embiid.
Yeah.
And that's not what Draymond is. That was that was basically all the trades I came up with. There was no one else who I thought really... In Memphis, there's no one really you can throw away there. Marcus Smart, maybe. But I think they want to keep him for next year. I was sort of happy with those trades, though.
Yeah. Guess what time will tell.
That's it. Well, did you have one other trade? Did you have McDaniels for Markkanen trade?
I ended up with just Kyle Anderson, Shaker Milton, and Troy Brown Jr. for Lauri Markkanen.
Yep.
That's the best I could do. I couldn't fit
get
McDaniels into that one.
Yeah, okay.
Plus, I don't think Minnesota's skipping out McDaniels and Kyle Anderson.
Yeah, okay.
2 starters.
That's true. That would be that'd be a fun team though. Like, because once everyone's healthy, Conley, Edwards, Markkanen, Towns. Would you give up Towns for Markkanen? Hang on, let me see what I can do. I'll offer you one. I'm going to offer you a trade.
Okay.
Quickly from Minnesota's perspective. So Towns making 36, which is going to make it tough, but might be able to make something work. Turn that into who's we're looking for? Utah. So I think it would have to be like Lauri Markkanen. You'd probably have to take on John Collins' contract to do this.
Probably.
Which could probably be, actually, if you're Minnesota, like if you're Utah, you're not upset about that. So it's like, we can get off John Collins' contract. It would be him and probably Shake Milton. I think that makes the money work. Yeah, so it'd be Shake Milton, Karl Anthony Towns, and basically any first-round pick you can send back to the Jazz.
Yeah. What if...
That's an interesting trade, though. I'd be interested in that. Okay, do you want to do the All-Star draft yet? Do you have any more trades?
Yeah.
You happy to go?
Yeah.
Let's do this. So, we were discussing that obviously the All-Stars were announced. We discussed it earlier. And we had an idea that we were going to do a draft. We're going to draft a team. We'll go back and forth, snake it. So I can go first, you get picks 2 and 3, or vice versa. And what we're going to do is we have to draft a team of the most random All-Stars that we could think of. So I've been going through Wikipedia, looking at people who were selected once, and there were some weird names that I'd forgotten were ever a All-Star at any point. So, Sam, do you want to go first in this draft, or do you want the second and third pick?
Give me the second and third pick.
Okay. Who do I want to take first in the draft of the most random All-Stars of all time? There was a few that came to I was having a look through. There's a lot of good point guards available. There's a lot of good centers available. So I think, just looking through the list of players I had here, no, I think he sort of deserved it. I'm going to go with the first overall pick in the most random draft. I'm going to take Kyle Kuzma. 2015 Atlanta Hawks Kyle Kuzma. I want a wing, and he's a good wing to pick up early. I'm taking Kyle Kuzma. I need something to write this down on. I'm going to get a paper here and a pen. I'm taking Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, enough. Ooh.
That is so random that Kyle Kuzma is an all-star.
I know. That 2015 Hawks team was just weird.
That was a funny team. So I've got Kyle Kuzma. I'm happy with that. I need some shooting in this lineup, you know? Get some floors, get the ultimate floor spacer.
Exactly. All right. For me, right.
Give it to me.
For my pick, give me Drew Holiday in 2013.
I forgot Drew Holiday made it in like 2013.
For the Sixers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Before he got traded to the Pelicans. Man, that's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think of him.
Uh-huh.
That's a good pick.
And then for my third pick, give me Nikola Vucevic in 2019 when he was on the Magic.
That's also actually an amazing pick. That's a good center. Okay, I'm going to follow up your center with a center of my own, I think. And I think I have to take the boy. Where is his? I just want to confirm. 2010, Chris Kaman for my center.
Interesting.
Chris Kaman.
That is not who I was expecting you to say. But okay,
I know. I just think I have to go with Chris Kaman. Mainly because I have a personal connection to that in the fact that he once got me a really good score on NBA crossover grid when I put him in for All-Star and it was like All-Star and triple-double or something like that. And I put in Chris Kaman. It got like 0.02%. It was the greatest day. And then to follow it up, I'm going to go for my point guard. There's a few good point guards left. So I think I'm going to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to go Mr. Aliens had the death beam himself. Andre Iguodala. I'm going to take Drew Holiday's teammate in Andre Iguodala.
Interesting. Okay.
This isn't shut down LeBron Iggy. This is dunking on everyone's head Iggy. This is aliens pointed, no one I'd trust more Iggy. That's just the dumbest thing. Like, that is the most overreactive thing I've ever... Like, there's a lot of overreactions have been said on TNT, NBA, like, TNT, like, pre-game show. But I think the worst one is after Iggy hit one game winner, being like, game on the line, the Golden State player I want most taking a three is Iguodala on a team that has Curry, Clay, and KD. I still marvel. I forget who even said that, but that was inspiring. Okay, who's your next two picks?
I'm just checking something.
Yep, go for it. Having a look through the list, there's some good ones here. It's also crazy. Brunson's a first-time All-Star this year. Yeah. That's crazy that he hasn't made it before.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
For my shooting card.
Yep.
From the 2000s, absolute bucket getter, Michael Redd.
Michael Redd. Oh, that's a...
And
I love Michael Redd.
For my power forward.
Yep.
Give me Tyson Chandler from 2013.
He was going to be my center if I didn't pick Chris Kaman. I'll be honest.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
I was thinking Tyson Chandler. For my point guard, I'm actually glad he fell. I'm taking Goran Dragic when he made it with
He was
the
on my
Heat
list.
in 2020. I think Goran Dragic, the dragon himself.
That was 2018. That was a
it
weird
2018?
year.
That was a weird year. I was considering D'Angelo Russell from 2019 Brooklyn team, but he was also sort of goated on that Brooklyn team.
Yeah,
that was a fun
team.
That was a really fun Brooklyn team. So he didn't deserve to make the weirdest team of all time.
No.
Then at my power forward, give me. There's some good players left. I'm trying to think. Do I have enough spacing to allow for that? There's some. I forgot Fred VanVleet made the All-Star team in 2022. Mm-hmm. That would have been possibly an even better one. Oh, I've lost my list. Where are you gone? I'm thinking I might. Do I take him? I'm just checking there's no one else here that I want more than this guy that's. Oh, that's a good pick as well. But you can't really put power forward to be small. I'm thinking through like the spacing on this like theoretical team of who I put in there.
I had no thought into that.
I'm going to go with it. Give me DeAndre Jordan at my power forward.
From 2017. Nice.
From 2017. When he used to win Defensive Player of the Year every year in 2K. For like, it was either him or Hassan Whiteside would win Defensive Player of the Year every single year.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook would average a triple-double every season. These are the days of 2K. I miss those. I think I'm happy with that pick. Who's your final small forward?
I had my full team.
No, you need a small forward still.
Oh, I didn't say.
Yes.
Gordon Hayward.
He was the other guy I was thinking of playing at the 4. I was like, do I take Gordon Hayward or DeAndre Jordan?
Yeah.
Give me Gordon. Yeah. Okay, I was also thinking of putting Brook Lopez at the power forward when he made it in 2013 with the Nets.
Yes.
That was a good one. Jeff Teague, I considered picking up to be my point guard when he made it with that Atlanta side. Brandon Ingram's made a team. Which feels
Mike Conley in 2021.
Mike Conley 2021 was. There's a lot of good point guards who just had random years where they made it.
Yeah.
Who else is on my? Just having a look through list here. So you got Tyson Chandler. I wanted Tyson Chandler. Consider taking your boy Sam Cassell, Minnesota boy, but he was a bit too good. Andrew Bynum made it one year.
Jeez.
Jared Allen made it. I considered picking him to be my center as well. But I think Chris Kaman is just a bit too random. Luol Deng made it twice somehow.
The GOAT.
Which I don't understand. Victor Oladipo didn't get drafted either. 2-time Indiana All-Star there. I think that was the best. Vucevic made it twice. He made it once with the Bulls as well. I forgot about that. That is... I don't understand how that happens. I think, so you end up with Drew Holiday, Michael Redd, Gordon Hayward, Tyson Chandler, and Nikola Vucevic.
Yep.
To go up against Goran Dragic, Kyle Korver, Andre Iguodala, DeAndre Jordan, and Chris Kaman.
Yeah.
That is some random as all-stars there.
No one is watching that.
No. Do you see the thing they post? I think Bleacher Report posted today when who would win the 2004 All-Star team versus the 2004 starters versus the and Steve Francis was starting in 04 and it's all the comments like, how did Steve Francis get in? That was like when Steve Nash, Jason Kidd were all over in the Western Conference, but Steve Francis gets the starting role.
Yeah.
Guess who everyone's looking to cheer for? All right, that's a pretty good list, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else you want to discuss? I think that covers pretty much everything that are on the notes for today.
Yep.
It's going to be content. I'm very happy with that. I think we can leave it there. We had a good episode today. We didn't have any cleaners walk in or any teachers walk in, so we're growing. We're doing better. And I think that'll do it for today's episode. Obviously, trade deadline is in a week, so we'll probably have an episode very soon discussing the actual trade deadline and what actually went down and favorite actual trades. It would be if one of our trades goes through, I'll be very proud of us and very impressed. Particularly if it's the Troy Brown Jr., Carl Anderson, and Who was the other one he threw in there for Lauri Markkanen? Shake Milton.
Shake Milton, yes.
If that trade goes through, I will eat like my hat live on camera, and I'll be comfortable doing so. All right. Quick shout out to Sam's. You can check him out on Instagram at SamFullerMedia. The best collection of Anthony Edwards fan posters you will find anywhere in the Southern Hemisphere. Also some very nice Shea Gilgeous-Alexander ones that came out a couple of weeks ago, which is very nice. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, go and check us out on Spotify or Apple Podcasts at Protecting the Paint. at the Fair Dunkem Podcast. If you check us out on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can go watch the full video on YouTube at Protecting the Paint is the YouTube channel. Fair Dunkem Podcast is the title of the episodes, though. Protecting the Paint, go check us out on Instagram. We'll be posting more over there in the next couple of weeks. I know I said that in the last episode. I haven't posted since. I will definitely be getting back to TikTok and Instagram at Protecting the Paint very soon. Twitter at GLewisBeeball. But go check out the videos. Got some fun ideas for videos I want to be posting in the next couple of weeks. But for now, Sam, thank you very much for joining, mate. Had a very good time having you.
It was a pleasure.
Always an absolute pleasure. And we'll see you in the next one. Adios.
Adios.